Shabby Gamer here, and welcome back to the next episode here in our WWF Retro Roster Universe Mode series. Now, I will say, beginning this video, there's no Universe Mode footage in this video. This is just a tournament to crown our first Tag Team Champions going into the Universe Mode. So, as you can see, we've got a pretty stacked out lineup of teams here for you. We're going to start things off with the Legion of Doom and the Triangle of Terror. Of course, it's Animal and Hawk and Colonel Mustafa and General Adnan. We've got the Hart Foundation versus the Higher Beings, and the Hart Foundation, Jim Neidhart and Owen Hart, taking on the Higher Beings of Hunter, Hearst, Helmsley and Lord Stephen Regal. We're going to have the Hollywood Blondes taking on the Blade Runners, as Brian Pillman and Stunning Steve Austin taking on the Ultimate Warrior and Sting. And we're going to see Rhythm and Blues, Honky Tonk Man and Greg Valentine taking on Demolition, Axe and Smash. Now, for a little bit of fun, why don't you nip down to the comment section below and just put down a quick comment on who you think is going to win this tournament. I'm going to go for the Blade Runners, the Ultimate Warrior and Sting. They were our champions more or less the entire way through our 2K15 Universe Mode. Lost the belts on the finale episode to the Legion of Doom, but apart from that, they absolutely dominated the tag team picture, and I think they're going to do the same thing here on 2K16. So why don't you guys have a guess, and at the end, we'll see who got it right. So without further ado, let's get straight into our first match. And our first match is going to be Animal and Hawk, the Legion of Doom, taking on the Triangle of Terror, Colonel Mustafa and General Adnan. And here we go. We're going to start things off with General Adnan and Animal in the ring. Of course, as I mentioned, Animal and Hawk, the Legion of Doom, they finished our 2K15 Universe Mode with those championships. It was the Blade Runners who held them the whole way through the Universe Mode. Legion of Doom only took them on the very last day of the Universe Mode, that big finale episode. And they'll be hoping that they can take the 2K16 Tag Team Championships as well and start with them. I'm sort of hoping, although my guess is going to be the Blade Runners, I'm sort of hoping it isn't the Blade Runners that win the championships. Mainly because, I've said before, it takes two very, very strong members of the roster out of it, really. It'd be nice to be able to use Warrior and Sting a bit more this year in feuds along and sort of things like that, rather than being in the tag team division all the time. I had that sort of issue last year. It did have one feud between Sting and Flair last year, and that was a bit more difficult because it ended up with Sting defending his tag team championships and also facing off against Ric Flair on the same night at our first pay-per-view, so it wasn't exactly the best situation to be in. So I'm sort of, although I put them down, I just can't see anyone else but them winning, but although I put them down, I'm hoping it's not going to be them. As Animal brings in his tag team partner here, Hawk. Hawk with a front chancery on Adnan, and I just launched him over the top rope. Now, yeah, I'm a big fan of Legion of Doom, and at the moment I've got them down to just permanently work in the retro roster, but I'm thinking at some point maybe we could bring them into the Attitude Era. Maybe if the tag team division starts to struggle, maybe we can bring them back as like a surprise return or something like that sort of lines, or maybe the Ascension can make an open challenge for the current day roster and the Legion of Doom could come out to face them. There's a lot of different things that we could do. Yeah, it's just a case of just deciding now. We're going to go for the full year this time on the Universe Mode. Of course, we're going to be uploading an episode every single day, so there's going to be a lot of time to really develop a lot of different storylines, and it's going to be very, very fluid. As I've said already, things are going to change quite often. We'll have new members on the rosters. We'll have some people disappearing for a while. They might come back later on, and new tag teams arriving, tag teams disappearing. Because there's only 100 Creator Wrestler spots, it's going to have to be very, very fluid just to keep everything going the way that we want it to go. As my money in this match would definitely be on the Legion of Doom. I think they're probably the stronger team here. We've also got the Hart Foundation, a strong team here this afternoon as well. Owen Hart and Jinyan for Neidhart. First time I'm using Neidhart on this game, and it's great to see him finally back in the game. I've not had him. I think I downloaded him as a core a couple of years ago just because it was a really, really good one. Since then I've not really had him. I've not really bothered. But now having him on the game really helps us build up our Hart Foundation stable for this retro roster, which is going to be absolutely great. Really looking forward to that. And I wonder whether the Undertaker in this era, in the retro roster, might be able to maybe recruit the likes of the Legion of Doom, maybe as part of a new ministry maybe down here. It's an interesting one. Although I don't really want to have a ministry in every single version of the game. It is a plan that I've got in a couple of versions already. But I think the Legion of Doom would suit being with the Undertaker. I don't think the Undertaker we've got in the Attitude Era, that's going to be the American Badass Undertaker, and I don't think he really suits having a ministry formation anyway. But the retro roster one definitely does, and the current day roster one as well. Of course, if you've seen my 2K15 universe mode, we did have a new ministry, so there's no reason why we couldn't do the same sort of thing again this year. As Adnan with him with a pin here on Hart. It's only for a 2 count. Animal shouting down to Hawk there, demanding he gets the tag. But Adnan continues the assault. And of course, Adnan is the legendary Iron Sheik. And I was thinking at some point maybe actually doing some sort of storyline to bring him back as the Iron Sheik. Make him a bit more useful on the roster. Because the situation he's in at the moment in this tag team, I'm pretty sure I've got this wrong as well. I'm pretty sure the tag team was Adnan and Slaughter, and Mustafa was the manager, but I wanted to try and keep it so we have Sergeant Slaughter as a singles competitor. He can be involved in certain other sort of championship matches and things like that. I'm sure he can be involved in some feuds. I'm sure he can find him some foreigners to go after. That's what Sergeant Slaughter used to do, isn't it really? Some punches to the stomach there by Adnan. But Hawk comes straight back with that backbreaker, taking Adnan down now into the pin. As you see, Mustafa has the referee distracted, allowing Adnan a few extra seconds here. 1, 2, it's only a 2 count. Clever tag team work there to distract the referee for a significant amount of time. Of course, we're going to have some extra teams as well. Once the downloadable content comes out, we're going to get the Bushwhackers are going to be brought in. We'll also get the Natural Disasters being brought in. It's also going to bring in the team of Dusty Rhodes and Dustin Rhodes as well, and the team of Ric Flair and Arn Anderson is what I'm looking for as well, which will be we'll just have them as the Horsemen, just the 2 of them together. So we're really going to have a really great tag team division in our retro roster this year. Last year we struggled because we didn't have that many tag teams really, and being a big fan of Legion of Doom and Demolition, them two generally always involved in that top level. So it'd be great this year to have a bit more different tag teams. Of course, I've created a couple myself, such as the Higher Beings, Lord Stephen Regal and Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Very similar gimmicks. I thought it might work, and we'll see if it does this evening. Also brought in the team of Greg the Hammer Valentine to join up with the Honky Tonk Man as the Rhythm and Blues. That is a real historical team, so I decided that that'd be a great way to give Honky Tonk Man a bit more relevance on the roster this year. And it also means that we get to use Greg the Hammer Valentine as well, which is great. Animal now taking Mustafa up onto the top rope. Remember, as in all my competitions, the damage retention is on. So basically you want to try and get through this round as easily as possible. The less damage you take, the more momentum you're going to take through with you into the semi-finals. And the less likely you are to be defeated, I suppose. Referee going in for the pin. It's only a 2 count. Mustafa still in this one. Animal now in that head scissors. Mustafa breaking free. Comes across and brings in General Adnan. Adnan, probably the strongest man of their team. I don't think it's too much different. I don't think either of the 2 members are very strong, to tell the honest truth, but I think he's definitely the stronger of the 2. Animal bringing him back up to his feet now. And a big spiked DDT on Adnan. This could be all here, you know. Animal dropping into the pin. 1, 2. It's not. Adnan kicks out. And now Animal slowing the pace down once again. He has a headlock with the legs there on General Adnan. Now stalking Adnan as he makes his way back up to his feet. Animal takes him up onto his shoulders. And there's that big front power slam. Could this be all? Putting Adnan into the middle of the ring. In for the pin. 1, 2. No, only a 1 count. Animal Paulie had the pinfall position there, very, very close to the corner of the Triangle of Terror. But Animal continuing the assault here on Adnan, who slides out the ring to avoid him. Back up, but Animal catches him straight away. Adnan slides out into that DDT of his own. Very high impactful move there by General Adnan. Slamming the arm of Animal into the mat. Went for the big stomp to follow it up, but Animal managed to avoid it. Animal spinning Adnan around, and there is a... I don't know if he's going to go for a Russian leg sweep, but he goes forward into that skull-crushing finale style, stroke style. Animal now comes across and brings in his partner Hawk, and what can Hawk do? Can he stop Adnan making his way to the tag? Well, he went for the big clubbing blow across the back, but Adnan avoids it and catches a Hawk with that big uppercut. Big headbutt again by General Adnan. Adnan bringing Hawk back up to his feet. And there's a jawbreaker by Hawk on Adnan. Pulls him into the middle of the ring. Northern Light suplex. He bridges in for the pin. 1, 2. Oh, it's only a 2 count. Animal tried to get to Colonel Mustafa. It just wasn't quick enough. And now he takes Mustafa out of the ring. But Adnan with a gut wrench suplex on Hawk into a pin. Animal distracted with Colonel Mustafa. He's out of position. And Hawk manages to kick out on the verge of 3. Great over the top style stunner there by Adnan. And I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, that could have been all right there. It really could. Animal was out of position. Adnan there with a backdrop. Mustafa just continuing the assault with the blows over the back. Hawk bringing Mustafa straight back up to his feet, and there's a big spike DDT by Hawk on Mustafa, in for the pin. 1, 2. It's only a 2 count. Mustafa kicks out. And now Hawk with just the elbows across the chest of Mustafa. Animal trying to will him on to continue the assault, and Hawk does. Hawk bringing Animal back into the ring. Mustafa slowly crawling towards his corner, but Animal catches him. Brings him back up to his feet, and there's Mustafa there with the arm drag, and now manages to bring General Adnan back into this match. And Legion of Doom, I'm a little bit worried how long they're taking here against Triangle of Terror. They probably would have been hoping that they could finish these guys off a lot quicker in this. Remember, damage retention is on, so they want to try and get rid of this match as quickly as possible. Not only is damage retention on, but it also means the stamina retention as well. So the more these guys knacker themselves out, the less likely they're going to be to do well in this next round. As you see, Animal just kicking out on the verge of a 3 count. Mustafa now trying to continue the assault with that just grip across the trapezius. Animal gets back up to his feet, and there's a couple of big striking blows to knock Adnan off, and you saw Animal going for that big front power slam once again. Adnan fights free, and there's a sidewalk slam by General Adnan, who drops onto his back as well. And it's actually Animal is up first. Both these guys absolutely knackered to a point where Adnan hit a big move and then just knocked himself out of the match. Animal's actually up quicker than Adnan, just showing the damage that's been done by Animal earlier on in the match. Hawk in now as well against Adnan. Hawk taking Adnan up. There's that big flapjack. And now Hawk stalking Adnan. This could be all. Hawk taking Adnan up. Front power slam as well. In for the pin. 1, 2. Animal has Colonel Mustafa out of this one. And the Legion of Doom knock out the Triangle of Terror. And then going on to our semi-finals later on this evening. And like I said, they were my favourites to win this match. Maybe a bit longer than they would have hoped it would have taken to win this match. They know that they've been involved in a difficult one here. There's a lot of damage been taken, a lot of stamina has been lost as well. And is that going to affect them when they take on the winners of our next match here this evening? Which I cannot remember because I've forgotten to write it down. I don't know who it is actually. I've got a feeling it's the Higher Beings versus the Hart Foundation, I believe. But we'll sure find out straight away after this match anyway. As we see some more of the highlights. This is that big spike DDT by Animal earlier on. He pulls Adnan into the middle of the ring, but of course that was only enough for the 2 count. And you see here Hawk just stalking the grounded General Adnan back up to his feet. Takes him up. And drops him in that front power slam. In for the pin. You see Mustafa nearly made it there, but Animal caught him with that Fez press. And Legion of Doom are going through to our semi-finals. And I'm happy with that because they are a very good team. And I really hope they do really, really well here. Like I said, they were the champions. They were the champions at the very end of our 2K15 universe mode. And I'm pretty sure they'll be hoping that they can be the champions at the very beginning of our 2K16 universe mode as well. And here we go with our second of the first round matches. It's going to be the Hart Foundation, Owen Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart, taking on the Higher Beings, Hunter Hearst Helmsley and Lord Stephen Regal. And here we go. An interesting one this then. As you can see, got a team that I put together here. It's Hunter Hearst Helmsley and Lord Stephen Regal as the Higher Beings. I wasn't going to do this team. I was going to stick with the same sort of thing I had last year with Finley and Regal together. Once I realised we actually had 2 Regals in this game, which is absolutely great. We've got Lord Stephen Regal, and then of course we've got William Regal. I have Lord Stephen Regal down here in the retro roster, while William Regal teams up with Fit Finley in the Attitude Era as well. Same sort of thing with Triple H really. We're going to have, we've got 3 Triple H on the game. We've got this one, the Hunter Hearst Helmsley. We've also got an Attitude Era one, will be part of DX, and we have a current day one as well. Which the current day one would be great because it means that we can do, we can maybe do a couple of little, a couple of little feuds. One that I do have in mind is one that's been rumoured for a very long time now, and that involves Seth Rollins and Triple H. So that's something we can definitely look at doing at some point. It will obviously involve Seth Rollins leaving the Authority in some way. I have in my mind the way that it's going to happen. It's going to be a slow storyline, don't get me wrong. It's going to take a good few months to really get going, but it's definitely going to be worth it. I think I've got that storyline down on my... I've been writing down a piece of paper what we could do, and I think I've got that down as like a 3 or 4 month long sort of feud leading all the way to a major pay-per-view. So I might have a look at doing that leading up to like I say, one of our major pay-per-views. Probably going to be Survivor Series. Don't think we'll have enough time to do it going forward to SummerSlam, but it does involve obviously Seth Rollins' face turn and somebody else replacing Rollins as a member of the Authority. I know who that person's going to be, and it makes perfect sense as well. But like I say, that will develop over time. Plus, it means we can have that great feud between Triple H and Seth Rollins, which we're all itching to see. And we could even do the match for if Seth Rollins loses, he can no longer use the pedigree. That would be a great way of doing it. And then we can bring him back to the curb stomp as a full-time finisher, because that's what we all want to see. We all want to see Seth Rollins go back to the curb stomp. As you see, Jim the Anvil Neidhart just launching Hunter Hearst Helmsley over the top rope there. Remember, the winners of this match will go on to face the Legion of Doom in the semi-finals here this evening. And like I said earlier, it's just so great this year. We've got a lot of extra tag teams, whereas the retro roster struggled a bit last year. They're going to have a lot of tag teams this year, especially, like I said, when the downloadable content comes out. When the DLC comes out, it means we're going to have the, like I said, the Bushwhackers and the Natural Disasters. We're going to have the Horsemen. But it also brings in, we're going to have Scott Hall as well in one of the downloadable content. That way we can have the Outsiders, which I'm going to have as part of the retro roster as well as the Attitude Era. Only because, of course, you had Kevin Nash as Diesel and Scott Hall as Razor Ramon in the early 90s. And I just want to sort of recreate that. Plus, it gives 2 extra guys to have on this roster. And I really want to recreate Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon for the Intercontinental Championship and a ladder match as well. That's something that I'll definitely be doing at some point in the near future. Or maybe I might be saved that to WrestleMania next year. Depends on what happens with the Royal Rumble, I suppose, as well. Because the Rumble's going to be amazing for all the rosters. There's Regal now taking some control over Jim the Anvil Neidhart. And Regal's been given a boost on stats this year as well. I only just noticed that. I was flicking through the stats before this one because for some reason I downloaded I downloaded Greg the Hammer Valentine, and somebody decided that it'd be a fantastic idea to give him maximum stats on everything. So I've reduced his stats down. But one thing it has made me notice is that Lord Steven Regal, unlike last year where I think he was an 82, I think they put him on the game as, this year he's come on as an 87 straight away, which is a really interesting development. They've done it with a few. They've changed stats on a few guys absolutely massively compared to last year. And that's going to make Lord Steven Regal a lot more competitive, and maybe you could even get involved in the Intercontinental Championship title picture down in the retro roster as well. Of course, that was the video that I've just uploaded before this one, so if you've not seen that, there is a link in the description below to the playlist for the retro roster. You'll find in there, well, this should be the last championship tournament, so you'll find in there the retro roster World Heavyweight Championship, the Intercontinental Championship, and of course this Tag Team Championship tournament as well. And that's also the place to keep an eye out for our future episodes. We'll be uploading a quick recap episode before we get into our normal weekly shows, just to show you guys who's on the rosters, the teams that are involved, and pay-per-view formats and stuff like that, just so you know what's going on before I get straight into it. And after this roster, I should be working on the Attitude Era, I believe. So that's gonna take a lot of time because that's got 7 or 8 championships. So we'll get that sorted hopefully by the end of this week. Global Force and Ring of Honor as well by the end of this week, and then hopefully going to get some weekly shows uploaded by Sunday as well. 1 weekly show for every roster and our very first pay-per-view. That's my plan anyway. But also the one thing that might hold my plan back is of course the release of Fallout 4 coming tomorrow, or if you're watching this tomorrow then coming today. It's released on the 10th of November either way, and I've got a release day, and I will be uploading some Fallout 4 footage for you as well. So hopefully you guys will be enjoying that, as well as obviously the 2K16 footage. And it's something I hope to do a bit more in the future as well, is just to upload some different games. I want to try and do all the Fallout, well I say all the Fallout, I want to try and do Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas at some point as well. I also want to try and do all the Assassin's Creed games as well. They're games I really do enjoy playing, so we'll definitely do something like that. And maybe stuff like Watch Dogs. I've never really played Watch Dogs properly, so maybe that's something that I can do as well. Like I say, once I get up and running with the Universe mode on 2K16 and well, basically get to a point where I'm a few days ahead of time, then I can start recording other little bits and bobs just to upload. I would like to do a FIFA career mode as well at some point. That should be a bit of fun, but obviously at the moment this is taking a lot of my time, especially getting all these championship tournaments uploaded. Oh, that was on the brink of free. That was there by Regal on Jim the Anvil Neidhart. As you see, Triple H taking Owen out of the situation. There's the reverse suplex. And that's actually got a really good ring to it for our AFRS feud, that one, you know. Hunter Hearst Helmsley versus Owen Hart. That could really go down well. German suplex by Lord Steven Regal. Brings Neidhart back to his feet, but Neidhart was playing possum and just brings Regal over the hard way. Neidhart stalking Regal. Regal back up to his feet. And Neidhart now with that big power slam. Can he capitalise on that big move? Brings Regal away from the ropes into the pin. 1, 2. No, it's only a 2 count. Bit strange considering that Neidhart just essentially hit his finishing manoeuvre. It's a bit strange that Regal managed to kick out of that one. Boot to the stomach by Owen Hart now. Front headlock on Regal, and there's a big uppercut, and Regal catches Owen Hart with the arm drag. Regal went for the neck breaker, and Owen Hart managed to push him away. Now, of course, we've already seen Owen Hart in the Intercontinental Championship tournament as well, so you can obviously check that one out, as well as the Ultimate Warrior we saw in that as well. Ultimate Warrior has been in all of the championship tournaments here in the retro roster, just showing how adaptable he is. Regal there with a Regal plex, but Owen's Hart foot landed on the ropes. Referee makes Regal break the pin. Regal now pulling Owen Hart into the middle of the ring, and there's a Northern Light suplex. I thought he might have gone for the bridge and the pin there, but decides against it. Regal coming across and bringing in Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Can Hunter cut the ring off? He does, man. No, he doesn't. He went for the clubbing blow across the back of Owen Hart. Owen Hart avoided it and manages to tag in Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Triple H launching Neidhart over that top rope. Now bringing him back up to his feet. And the Anvil Neidhart with a punch in the stomach, and now sending Triple H up the ramp, and Triple H trips and lands flat on his face. Now Neidhart dropping his body weight on the inside of the knee of Triple H, and that's a horrible move for Triple H to receive, because not only is that going to affect him in this match, but if the higher beings should get through to the next round, then of course that injury to the knee is going to affect him then as well. Neidhart with that hip toss on the outside slides back into the ring. The referee is still counting, and it looks like Neidhart and Owen Hart are looking for a count-out victory here. Hunter makes his way back and slides back in before the 10 count. And Hunter maybe playing a little bit possum, just gaining some energy back as he comes straight back into the ring, taking control of Neidhart straight away, locking him into the Tree of Woe. And just pushing his foot into the face of Neidhart. Neidhart drops back into the ring. Hunter bringing Neidhart back up to his feet, and there's the big spine buster. Big spine buster, that could be all here. No, he continues the assault, just wrenching that knee, returning the favour for maybe what was done to him earlier on. Neidhart trying to make his back to his feet, but Triple H is stalking him. What is he looking for here? We can only imagine it is. There it is, hook in the arms. There's the pedigree by Hunter Hearst Helmsley on Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Rolls him over. Neidhart's been busted open as well. Why has Triple H not gone for the pin there? He's just hit his pedigree. Surely he should have gone for the pin. That would have been a simple win for him. Instead he brings in Lord Steven Regal. And Regal really needs to stop Neidhart making the tag out to Owen Hart, and it does. Oh, but Neidhart, great move there, tripping Regal, and manages to make it across to his partner Owen Hart for the tag. But there's the Northern Light suplex with the bridge and the pin by Lord Steven Regal. And that is all. Hunter Hearst Helmsley just did enough to stop Jim the Anvil Neidhart getting there, and the higher beings are going through to face off against the Legion of Doom in the semi-final here this evening. And I don't know, I'm not sure if I'm surprised or not really. Triple H and Regal did a very good job, but I just assumed the team of Jim the Anvil Neidhart and Owen Hart would do a little bit better here this evening. They are probably the stronger of the teams. You see some more of the highlights in there. I thought it wasn't a very wise idea for Hunter Hearst Helmsley to hit the to hit the pedigree and then go for the tag. I'm sorry, I got distracted there. I was reading something at the same time. Yeah, it didn't seem like a very wise idea to me, and as you see, Neidhart did manage to make it across and make the tag into Owen Hart, but obviously Owen wasn't in a very good condition either, as straight away Regal caught him in this Northern Lights suplex. Has been the pin. You see Neidhart is very, very slow to get back in, and Hearst Helmsley does just enough to distract Neidhart, and the higher beings are going on to face against the Legion of Dooms. The Legion of Dooms? The Legion of Doom! Later on this evening for a chance to fight it out for the WWE Tag Team Championships here in the Retro roster in our big main event here this evening. And here is the third of our first round matches. It's going to be the Hollywood Blondes, Stunning Steve Austin and Brian Pillman, taking on the Blade Runners, the Ultimate Warrior and Sting. And here we go. We're going to start things off with Brian Pillman and the Ultimate Warrior in the ring. The first time I've used both Brian Pillman and Stunning Steve Austin. And doesn't Austin look a bit strange with his blonde hair? He really does. Of course, these two guys will be a permanent part of our retro roster, the Hollywood Blondes. I'm going to obviously probably use the correct attires. I think I've unlocked the correct attires for the Hollywood Blondes, so that's going to be pretty good as well. Of course, the Blade Runners, the Ultimate Warrior, sorry, and Sting, as I mentioned earlier on, they dominated my 2K15 Universe Mode Tag Team Division. They held the belts for the entire length of the universe. However, they did manage to lose them on the very last episode, our big finale pay-per-view, which was unfortunate for them. And they'll be hoping to get them belts back here straight away this evening. Like I said earlier on, I'm sort of hoping they don't get the belts back, because although they are my pick for this tournament, I'm sort of hoping they don't get the belts back, because like I've said before, it really sort of it removes them from singles competition almost. So it's a bit annoying if they have the tag team championships, but we can still do it. We're going to have a much bigger and stronger roster this year, so there's no reason why, if these two are sort of held back with the tag team championships, that we won't be able to maybe use other people on the roster to take their place at the top. But it would be great to see the likes of Warrior facing off against Hogan in a feud, Sting and The Undertaker, of course, be Sting and Ric Flair. There's a lot of fantastic feuds we could have involving these guys, and I really don't want to lose them to the tag team division the whole way through the universe mode. So, like I say, if they win, they win. It's not going to bother me if they win, but of course we will make them defend them belts probably a bit more than normal, just to try and get rid of them. But the problem was last year mainly not just that they won the championships and they were strong, but they picked up such a lot of momentum. They became undefeatable as well, and that's something that I found a lot of times last year in the 2K15 universe mode, is that as soon as somebody picked up a large amount of momentum, that was it. They were just done for the entire game then. Same sort of thing happened with Drake Younger on our 2K15 universe mode as well. He just destroyed anybody and everyone that came near him. He won the Best of the Super Juniors tournament, then he won the Global Force Wrestling Junior Heavyweight Championship, and then he won the Combat Zone Wrestling Tag Team Championships, and I think at one point he also held the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships at the same time as well. He was just undefeatable, and then all of a sudden, towards the end of the universe mode, his momentum started to drop, and I think he ended up keeping both of those championships, I believe, but still he was struggling to pick up victories. But of course he managed to pick up the victories in the matches that really mattered. You see Sting now, and there's the Tombstone Piledriver on Stunning Steve Austin. In for the pin. Only a one count. Sting hits the Tombstone and only gets a one count. You see Brian Pillman willing Austin over for a tag. But Sting continues to be in control of this match. Sting now tagging in the Ultimate Warrior. Warrior spinning Austin round and drops him in that atomic drop. Like I said earlier, we've seen Warrior already a few times in these tournaments. I think he's actually been in all 3 of our championship tournaments here in the retro roster. He was in the WWE Championship, the Intercontinental Championship, and now he is in the Tag Team Championship as well. As he makes his way up to the top rope. And Brian Pillman very, I was going to say being very, very sort of, I can't even think of the word now. He didn't try and knock the Ultimate Warrior off the corner, that's what I'm trying to say. And maybe that wasn't the best thing for him to do, because I think he actually got caught by Warrior. Pillman dropped to the ground below. Now into the pin goes Warrior. 1, 2. It's only a 2 count once again. Austin is still in this one, but he's taken a lot of damage so far by the Blade Runners, who are dominating this first round match. I think the Hollywood Blondes are really going to struggle to get back into this one. There's that big splash at the back there by Warrior, now rolling Austin over again. 1, 2, but Brian Pillman's there to break it up. And Sting takes Pillman out. Sting just sending Pillman over the top rope, but Austin has managed to get himself in control of the Warrior here. Stamping on the back of the arm of Warrior, bringing him back up to his feet. Now Austin sending Warrior into that corner as Pillman and Sting continue to fight on the outside. Sting taking Warrior up to the top and brings him out with that neck breaker from that top rope, bringing Warrior back up to his feet. And now Austin with the power driver on the Ultimate Warrior, in for the pin. 1, 2. No, it's only a 2 count. Warrior kicks out. Pillman had Sting distracted on the outside, and I thought Austin could have pulled off a massive victory here then. Of course, my picks are normally completely wrong on this game. I picked the Blade Runners, but in this competition I just can't see anybody defeating the Blade Runners. They are so much stronger than the other teams around them. And that's probably why, because they are both 90 plus rated superstars, whereas everyone else in this competition are more tag team based wrestlers, are sort of 85s, maximum 86s I think. Austin now just dropping Warrior neck first across that top rope. Austin in for the pin. 1, 2. Oh, it was so close to a 3 count, but Sting managed to get there in time. Brian Pillman now launching Sting over that top rope. Austin launching Warrior into that corner. Now, wondering this attire of Stunning Steve Austin. I've not done the showcase mode, so I'm assuming this attire means something to somebody with Dragon Slayer on the back of his shorts. I wonder if that's anything to do with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Or maybe that's a feud we could do because of that whole attire thing. It's a possibility, isn't it, really? Warrior has Austin up in that fall-away slam, launch him across the ropes, and now brings Sting into the equation. Austin trying to crawl his way to Brian Pillman. Sting catches Austin, and there's the neck breaker. And now Sting stalking Austin. What has Sting got planned here? Look for a Scorpion Deathlock. He does. He locks in a Scorpion Deathlock on Stunning Steve Austin. But I think Austin just managed to grab a hold of the ropes. Referee makes Sting break the hold. Sting pulls him into the middle of the ring. He's going to roll him over for the pin. Here he does. 1, 2. Oh, and Brian Pillman was just there on the brink of 3 to break that one up. Sting with the elbows to the face. Now Sting up on that top turnbuckle. You see Warrior taking Brian Pillman out on the outside. Sting went for the elbow drop. Austin avoids it and in for the pin. 2. Oh, it's only a 2 count. Austin nearly managed to capitalise on the... well, just pretend we didn't see that in the background. Sting looking to capitalise on the mistake. Oh, sorry, Austin trying to capitalise on the mistake by Sting, missing that elbow drop. Brian Pillman tried to dive and get the Ultimate Warrior, but completely missed him. A little bit embarrassing. Oh, Austin has Sting up in the Razor's Edge powerbomb, but Sting then slides out. Went for a neck breaker, and Austin managed to slide out. And now Austin with a gut buster on Sting. And Austin brings in Brian Pillman. And what has Pillman got in the locker? A big clubbing blow to the back of Sting. Now sending Sting into this corner. Back elbow by Sting, getting himself out. Pillman spins Sting round though. Brings him into the middle of the ring. And there's the atomic drop by Brian Pillman. And Brian looking to fly here. Up to the top rope he goes. Big elbow drop. Can he capitalise on it? Bringing Sting back up to his feet again. Pillman throwing Sting into the corner. Tornado DDT out of the corner as well. Great move. And just slamming the back of the head of Sting into the mat. Into the pin. 1, 2. Oh, and Ultimate Warrior actually took the referee out there. I don't think he meant to. Austin there with the stunner across the top rope. Of course, at this point in his career, the stunner wasn't his finisher, I don't believe. But Austin assaulting the Ultimate Warrior on the outside. Sting pulling Pillman into the middle of the ring, and there's an atomic drop. Sting rolling Pillman over. Back up to his feet, but Pillman reversing, throwing Sting face first into the mat. Pillman makes the tag into stunning Steve Austin. Austin with that front headlock, but Sting reversing, makes it across and brings in the Ultimate Warrior. And this match is probably taking a bit more out of these two guys than I expected. Oh, but see, Warrior was taunting, and Austin caught him straight away in the pile driver. And this could be all, you know. Austin with a pin. Pillman's in as well. 1, 2, and 3, and it is. The Hollywood Blondes have eliminated. Again, my pick, as it always seems to happen. The Hollywood Blondes have eliminated the Blade Runners in the very first round, and we're going to have completely fresh tag team champions for you in this universe mode compared to our last year's anyway. And it also means that Sting and Warrior are going to be completely available for singles competition, which I'm very, very happy about. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't have been disappointed if they'd won this tag team division tournament. It would have been absolutely great still, because they're a very, very strong team to have. But for me, just keeping these two guys, well, we'll still have them as a tag team, don't get me wrong, we'll still have them as a tag team, maybe they can back each other up in feuds. But it's great to have them both available for singles competition as well. Especially Warrior for certain reasons, which I'll not say because it might be spoilers for other stuff. But what a great win here for the Hollywood Blondes. I just expected them to get knocked out first round here. I was just sort of thinking how much easier it was to for the Blade Runners to get knocked out in the second round after taking this much damage in this round. But you see Warrior taunting, and as he was taunting, Austin caught him in the power driver. Referee down for the 3 count. Brian Pillman taking Sting out. And the Hollywood Blondes are going on to face off against the winners of the Rhythm and Blues and Demolition in a place for our big tag team finals match later on this evening. What a great win this has been for the Hollywood Blondes. Can they keep it up this evening? And this is our final first round match of the evening. It's going to be Rhythm and Blues, the Honky Tonk Man and Greg the Hammer Valentine, taking on the team of Axe and Smash, Demolition. And here we go. We're going to start things off with Axe and the Honky Tonk Man in the ring. Of course, the winners of this match will go on to face off against the Hollywood Blondes in the semi-finals later on this evening for a place to fight it out for the Tag Team Championships in our main event later on. And we now know that we're going to have a bit of a fresh change in 2K16. Of course, like I said earlier on, the Blade Runners held the Tag Team Championships the whole way through 2K15, apart from our big finale episode when they lost the belts to the Legion of Doom. So we know we're not going to have the same case here on 2K16. And that again is one of the reasons why I didn't want to just hand the belts out willy-nilly like I did last year. I wanted to do all these tournaments because it really does allow us to pick up some much different champions than probably what I would have done or what you guys would have done as well. And it just makes it a bit fresher because obviously if there's a lot of other people out there doing universe modes, if everyone has the same people as champions, such as, I don't know, Hogan as a retro champion, and like on the current day roster, we have Ziggler as the Intercontinental Champion. That's probably not the best example, is it? Or, of course, Cena as the WWE Champion, all that sort of stuff. It's going to get a bit boring. So our universe is going to start a bit different to everybody else's. We're going to have a lot of different champions, and it's going to make it a bit easier. Plus, by doing some of these tournaments, it has allowed us to pick up some reasons to create our own little feuds as well. For example, I'm not going to give any names, but there was one in the NXT Television Championship tournament. The final match finished with a bit of a controversy, so we'll be using that controversy in our universe mode, trying to build a feud off of that as well. So that's going to be, it just helps us out to do that as well. And I will say this is the first time as well that I'm using both the Demolition Cores and Greg the Hammer Valentine as well. Only downloaded them recently. Of course, the game's only been out for a couple of weeks, I suppose, but I only just been downloading them the last week or two. First time I've really used them, and they do look fantastic once again. A lot of the cores on this game look absolutely fantastic, and they seem to act quite well in the ring as well, especially after I'd reduced the stats on Greg the Hammer Valentine, who for some reason, when I downloaded him, had 100 stats on everything, which was really, really annoying. I don't know why people do it, I really don't. But thankfully I've managed to get that sorted now. I'm putting down to a more realistic level. I'm not going to say what that is because I don't want you guys to know roughly what's going to happen, if that makes sort of sense. But he's at a level where he should be, I think. He's not going to be fighting for the WWE Championship every week, let's just say that. But he's going to be a valuable member of our tag team division alongside the Honky Tonk Man. Also use him as a singles competitor as well if we wish to. As the referee still counting, and looks like Smash is looking for a count-out victory here. Referee's up to a 7. And Greg the Hammer Valentine makes her back into the ring, and now just sends Axe onto the outside. Just slamming Axe's head into the mat. Very aggressive there by Greg the Hammer Valentine. Nice big punching combination followed by the boot to the stomach, and Valentine really starting to take control of this match now. And there's the curse of the commentator. Axe back up to his feet, and there's the big overarm punch there by Valentine. Both guys slide back into the ring as the referee's count gets pretty high. Axe launching Valentine over the top of his head. Now, of course, with the Honky Tonk Man, somebody that a lot of you alongside myself probably don't think is a very strong wrestler. I think the game has him rated quite low, but he did manage to pick off quite a big victory in the Intercontinental Championship tournament. So it's just what I've been saying before, you can't really judge who's going to win these matches on ratings anymore, because it just doesn't seem to work that way in this game. Literally anybody could beat anybody on the day. I think it's more likely for the higher rated guys to win, but you can't write off the likes of Greg the Hammer Valentine and the Honky Tonk Man here this evening. Oh, as you just saw there with the Hollywood Blondes, they defeated a team of 2 90-pluses on this game. And a team that dominated 2K15, and already they've been defeated by a much weaker team. I say much weaker team, nothing against the Hollywood Blondes, they're just not quite 90-plus, both of them, which the Blade Runners currently are, Sting and the Ultimate Warrior, of course. Big overhand chop there by Axe on Greg the Hammer Valentine. And Axe with a massive uppercut. Now comes across and brings in his partner, Smash. Again, both these guys looking for a series of punches. Smash now with that front slam. And now just twisting the neck of Greg the Hammer Valentine. Slowing the pace of the match down. Remember, the winners of this match will go on to face off against the Hollywood Blondes, who did win the last match, like I said, against the Blade Runners, but I think it took quite a bit out of them as well, so I think they could be not necessarily easy pickings, but there's a great chance for whoever wins this match to really go straight on to the final, really, as long as they can get through quickly, and that's what Demolition, I would expect, would do here this evening. Smash with a pin now on Greg the Hammer Valentine, but it was just far too close to the corner of the Rhythm and Blues. Gorilla press there by Smash on Valentine again in for the pin. 1, 2, it's only a 2 count, and again, I think if Smash had just pinned him a bit closer to his own corner, he'd have a much more luck, really. As you see now, Axe and Honky Tonk Man fighting on the outside, leaving Smash and Greg Valentine in the middle. Can Smash take advantage of the distraction? Honky Tonk Man back up into a position, and Axe making his way back around as well. The referee regaining some sort of control in this match. Smash now throwing the knees of Greg Valentine into the mat. Greg Valentine with the big punch there to the stomach, now spins Smash around and drops him back first. And Greg Valentine signaling for something here. Oh, signaling for a tag, that's all. In comes the Honky Tonk Man then. Just pushing Smash away. Honky Tonk there with that great scoop slam on Smash. Smash though launching Honky Tonk over the top of his back. Big right hand. Pulls Honky Tonk into the middle of the ring. And there's a big front splash as well. Smash brings in Axe. Big punch to the face, and there's another big one as well, followed by some clubbing blows to the back of Honky Tonk Man. Double axe handles, and finally Honky Tonk goes down. Axe rolls him over into the pin. 1, 2. Oh, on the brink of a 3 count there. I don't think it's going to take too much else to finish Honky Tonk Man off here. Honky Tonk with a front headlock, but Axe fighting free with those punches to the stomach. Now pulling Honky Tonk into the middle of the ring, takes him up. Oh, and just squats while he has him up in that vertical suplex, allowing all the blood to run to his head, and there's the big vertical suplex. Clubbing blow to the back, and a boot to the back as well. Axe pulling Honky Tonk into the middle of the ring. Slamming him knee first once again into the mat. Bringing him back up to his feet. Oh, Honky Tonk catches Axe once again in the front headlock, and then a big rake to the eyes. As Honky Tonk brings Greg the Hammer Valentine back into this match. You notice with the older wrestlers in the retro roster, it comes across quite realistic because they do move a lot slower in the ring, I think. I don't know if it's just me or what, but the matches seem to go on. Well, the matches do. We've only done the first round matches so far, and we're already up to an hour on the recording time, which is a lot more than normal. Normally the video would be close to finishing by now, but yeah, these matches lasting a lot longer than normal. As Greg Valentine brings in the Honky Tonk Man, which I'm surprised that Demolition have taken so long to defeat Rhythm and Blues here. I would have thought that this would be quite a simple match for them. Rhythm and Blues are almost like a jobber tag team as such. I can't see them having much of a strong time in our universe mode. But then again, I might be wrong the way this is going at the moment. Honky Tonk up onto the middle ropes. And there's that dive-in fist drop. In for the pin. 1, 2. On the brink of a free count there. Rhythm and Blues were nearly going through to face off against the Hollywood Blondes in our semi-finals. Honky Tonk brings Greg the Hammer Valentine into this situation. But Smash was there waiting for him, dropping the elbow across the back of the head of the Hammer. Brings him back up to his feet and a big punch to the face. And some clubbing blows across the back as well. A couple of double axe handles. And Valentine finally crashes down to the ground. Smash rolls him over like a dead weight. Axe is already in. Oh, how is that not a free count? How was that not a free count? You see Axe taking Honky Tonk out of the situation, throws him over the top rope. Smash there, taking him down, and surely this is all. 1, 2, and 3, and it is Demolition are going through to our semi-finals to face off against the Hollywood Blondes. As we see some more of the highlights here. And this is the clubbing blows across the back. We saw this quite a few times from both members of Demolition, really just dominating, just absolutely destroying Greg the Hammer Valentine. Of course, this was early on though, and it was very, very close to the corner of Rhythm and Blues, as was this big slam. That's the combination that ironically finished the match off. But it was used earlier on to a not quite of a strong effect. And here you see it again. This time Axe hitting this combination of just strikes across the back, and again went for the pin straight after. But it was enough, just enough left in the Honky Tonk Man to kick out of that one. But here you see Axe here just taking Honky Tonk out of the equation, throwing him over the top rope, while Smash takes Greg Valentine up and slams him down in that Gorilla Press slam, and Honky Tonk was nowhere to be found, and it was a 3 count. So great victory here for Demolition. They still need 2 more to become our first tag team champions, but they've definitely got it in their locker. We now know, of course, we'll have another look at the brackets before we go through, but we now know our first tag team champions will either be Demolition, Legion of Doom, the Higher Beings, or the Hollywood Blondes. Let's have a quick look at the brackets, and then we'll get straight into the semi-finals. So as promised, here is a quick look at the semi-final brackets. We're going to see the Legion of Doom, Animal and Hawk, taking on the Higher Beings, Hunter, Hearst, Helmsley and Lord Steven Regal. And we're going to see the Hollywood Blondes, Brian Pillman and Stunning Steve Austin, taking on Demolition, Axe and Smash. And as I just said, it's going to be the Legion of Doom, Animal and Hawk, taking on the Higher Beings, Hunter, Hearst, Helmsley and Lord Steven Regal in our first semi-final for a place in the finals of tonight's Tag Team Championship Tournament for the Retro roster in the WWE 2K16 Universe mode. And here we go. Both these teams had difficult first rounds, so I'm not expecting this match to last too long, to tell the honest truth. We saw the Higher Beings defeating the Hart Foundation in what was a very hard-fought match, and of course Legion of Doom defeated the Triangle of Terror. Probably Legion of Doom are going to be in the better condition out of these two teams, but I still want to put it past, of course, the Higher Beings, Triple H, Hunter, Hearst, Helmsley and Lord Steven Regal picking up the victory. See Animal there taking sort of control of this match early on, and as I say that, Hunter, Hearst, Helmsley catches him with that backdrop there, big move into the pin. 1, 2. Oh, so close to a 3 count already. Regal and Hawk already out of this match. That big German suplex. And like I said, I don't see this one lasting very long at all at this rate. Regal has Hawk out of the match here, completely But maybe that's taken Regal out as well as Animal with a pin. And Hearst Helmsley kicks out just at the 2 count. And as I said, these two teams both had very difficult first rounds. And it's going to be much, much different here in the second round. As I can't believe it's only just about to go 5 o'clock in the evening. It's absolutely pitch black outside. What a horrible place to be. There's the big spine buster by Hearst Helmsley. In for the pin once again. 1, 2, and 3, and that is all. Lord Stephen Regal had Hawk out of it, and the higher beings are going through to the finals in what was a very, very, very quick semi-final here. Great teamwork here by the higher beings. I'm going to say it's a team that I've only just thrown together this morning just to have enough teams to make this competition, and it really is proving to be quite a great team, great combination of two strong competitors. And here you see that Regal threw Hawk over the top rope, and Triple H thought he had it there, but Animal came back with some force of that big power slam, went in for the pin, but Hunter managed to kick out on the 2 count. You see Triple H throwing Animal over the top of his head there, bringing him back up to his feet, and then we see straight into that big spine buster, and that was enough to do Animal in. Regal was very, very quick to get across and again get a hold of Hawk and stop him getting across to break the pin. And the higher beings are going on to our finals here this evening for a chance at the Tag Team Championships in the Retro roster. This could be great. We could have a brand new fresh team as our Tag Team Champions. We now know that the Tag Team Champions going into our 2K16 universe mode are going to be completely different than anyone we've ever seen before on 2K15 as well. And here we go with our second semi-final. It's going to be the Hollywood Blondes, Brian Pillman and Lord Stephen Regal, taking on Demolition, the team of Axe and Smash. And here we go. Of course, Brian Pillman and Stunning Steve Austin had a very difficult first round match. They defeated the Blade Runners, but after a win like that, they really deserved to go further in this competition. Of course, Demolition defeated Rhythm and Blues, a team which they probably should have defeated a lot quicker than what they actually did. So they're going to come into this with a bit of damage as well. I don't know who to go for on this one. I sort of fancy the Hollywood Blondes to actually do this one here this evening. I don't know why. Of course, my original choice was the Ultimate Warrior and Sting, the Blade Runners, but with them being knocked out in the first round by the Hollywood Blondes, I just can't help but think the Hollywood Blondes are going to be the team to really look out for here. Brian Pillman with that headlock, and now just the elbows to the top of the head of Axe. Pillman going up to the top rope. We're going to see a bit of flying Brian. There's that big elbow drop, big move. Thought he might have gone for a pin, but he decides against it. Just continuing the assault to the back. He brings Axe back up to his feet now. Boot to the stomach. Followed by another boot to the stomach as well. Big chop across the chest. And now throwing Axe into that far corner. And so far, Brian Pillman's dominating this match. Just can he do enough to really finish Axe off? Pillman takes him up to the top rope. So you're going for here a big superplex and hits it beautifully. Pillman looked like he was going to go for a great springboard splash, landing on the back of Axe. I think that actually hurt Brian Pillman probably a bit more than it hurt Axe by the look of it. Pillman was looked to be in great pain with his stomach. Both guys struggling to get up. Pillman slowly crawling towards his corner. Both guys meet again in the middle of the ring though. Axe now takes Pillman up. We saw this in the first match. There he is. The vertical suplex, just squatting, letting all the blood run to the head of Brian Pillman. Now dropping him down. Axe brings in Smash. Oh, great Hurricanrana there by Pillman out of nowhere. Brings Smash back up to his feet. Great spinning heel kick as well. Pulls Smash away from the corner. Going in for the pin. 1, 2. Oh, so close to a 3 count. Axe must have been confident because he didn't even try and come into the ring and break it. Pillman now with the elbows to the forehead of Smash, and now comes across and brings in stunning Steve Austin. How's Austin doing here? He puts Smash face first onto that middle rope and now just pushing his knee across the back of Smash. Rolls him over now, just slamming the knee into the mat. And of course both these teams have got to be thinking about the higher beings literally just walking straight through Legion of Doom in our last match. They know that they're going to be in some very good condition going into that final. Very small amount of injuries and anything else taken. That is it. That is it. The Hollywood Blondes are going through. What a great move by Brian Pillman to take Axe out of the equation. And just as I was speaking about needing to pick up the victory as quickly as possible and try and keep as much of your energy as possible, Brian Pillman does a great block-off job on Axe, allowing stunning Steve Austin to pick up the 3 count. As we see, it's just some of the highlights. This was the pinfall after that Hurricanrana by Brian Pillman. As you see, stunning Steve Austin here bringing Smash back up to his feet. Just tripping him and then just dropping his body weight onto the inside of that knee of Smash. Then in for the pin. See, Brian Pillman catches him. Great move by Brian Pillman to block Axe off. The damage had already been done on Smash, and all Austin had to do was pin him for the big finish. And we now know that our final here for the Tag Team Championships is going to be between the Higher Beings and the Hollywood Blondes. I don't think any of us would have actually guessed that final from the beginning. Nothing against these two teams. There are just a lot stronger teams out there that we really thought were going to get there. And here is our final. As we can see there, it's going to be the Higher Beings, Lord Steven Regal and Hunter Hearst Helmsley, taking on the Hollywood Blondes, Flying Brian Pillman and Stunning Steve Austin. And the WWE Tag Team Championships for our retro roster will be on the line. Now, normally, I know I've said that I will be showing entrances for championship matches and big matches like this, but in this case, I'm having a bit of a bug, so I've tried to just not have the entrances for this one video. There's a bit of a bug where, for some reason, the entrances, no matter how many times I go and fix it, and if I go and fix it again now, it's got completely random entrances for both of these teams, but they're not the actual entrances that I've got set for them. So I don't quite know why that's happening. It doesn't seem to be an issue in the universe mode, just in these exhibition sort of tournaments for some reason. So we will hopefully get that fixed in the next couple of days. But for now, it's not gonna give us too much of a problem, I don't think. As we see, something wrong with Austin's foot there. He seems to be getting a little bit mad. Seems to have stopped itself now. Lord Steven Regal taking Brian Pillman into the Tree of Woe situation. And it would be quite fitting, I suppose, for the Hollywood Blondes to win this match, considering they are... Well, sorry, Austin himself is the man this game is based around. So for him to walk out of this tournament with the Tag Team Championships would be a great feat for him. And it would also sort of just sort of celebrate his career and the game in general. So that could be an interesting concept. And of course, got the Higher Beings, a team that I put together myself. Just sort of thinking about people that would work quite well together, and Lord Steven Regal and Hunter Hearst Helmsley were two guys that I thought would fit perfectly well together, and they could end up becoming your tag team champions here in the retro universe, man. That's could have been a great sort of shout by me putting those two together. As Lord Steven Regal looks to be in trouble here, brings him down in that big superplex. Flying Brian, forcing everyone else to fly with him. Stunning Steve Austin. Big clubbing blow across the back. And now there's the backdrop as well. There is a cross in the running leg drop. Austin turning Regal over. Now the big blows to the side of the face. Brings Regal back up to his feet. Austin now throwing Regal into this corner. Brings him back up to the Tree of Woe. And now just forcing his foot into the face of Regal. Austin rolls Regal over. Now just slowing the pace of the match down. Just twist the head of Regal, but Regal gets back up to his feet with a punches to the stomach. And now Regal with a Northern Light suplex out of the corner. And he's got him in the bridge and pin. And that is it. Hunter Hearst Helmsley took Brian Pillman out. And Regal and Hunter Hearst Helmsley, the higher beings, their brand new tag team put together solely for this tournament, have gone on and won the tag team championships. As we see just some of the highlights, there wasn't really many of them by the looks of it. There was just this one. The Northern Light suplex out of the corner by Regal. You see Hunter Hearst Helmsley comes across, catches Brian Pillman in that twisting neckbreaker, and that allows the referee to pick the free count up. And there it is. Your very first tag team champions moving in to our WWE 2K16 Universe mode for the retro roster. Lord Steven Regal, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, the higher beings. As this title celebration is lasting a lot longer than I expected it to. And there we go, confirmation that Hunter Hearst Helmsley and Lord Steven Regal, the higher beings, defeated the Hart Foundation, Legion of Doom and the Hollywood Blondes to win themselves the WWE Tag Team Championships for our retro roster in the Universe mode. So anyway guys, that is the end of this episode. I hope you've all enjoyed it. Of course, if you have, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. And of course, hit that thumbs up button for the higher beings being our first ever Tag Team Champions as well. It's going to make it very interesting with all these strong teams to see how well and how long they can hold on to those championships for. If you're not already, be sure to subscribe because we'll be uploading daily 2K16 footage along with some other games that I will hopefully start to do soon once I get up to date and really get ahead of myself on this Universe mode. I've been Shabby Gamer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.